And we remember what a privilege it is to work with writers. Give us the grace to value every person we encounter, every writer, and to respect the words that they're using to give voice to their ideas. Your word tells us that unless you build the house, the laborers labor in vain. We thank you for the privilege of being laborers in the Aquinas College Writing Center, and we thank you again for the privilege of serving you. All this in your name, Lord. Amen.
Writing Center to me is one of those places on campus where, regardless of the situation, you can go get help for anything, whether it be, writing or creative writing, or you're just really struggling to brainstorm a topic for a paper.
When I was working in the Dean of Students office, we had this dream. We had professional consultants who were coming in, who were doing consulting with students. And I had this powerful vision that we would have a writing center and we'd have peer consultants helping other students, and we would really embrace this idea of kind of a community of writers.
I think my favorite memory is actually way back in, like I said, 06 or 07 when Dan Brooks and Sarah Cox were pitching this to me, and I knew it was needed. And I just called them into my office and said, what can we do bare bones on this very limited budget? And so we find this small corner office, and we hired a couple adjuncts to come in 5 hours a week. They were teaching our I&E classes. Because seeing what it is today and knowing where it came from is just such a big difference. And at that point in time, to compare that to today's Writing Center is very different, but I was kind of the financier and made it happen through the provost office so that we got our first toe in the water.
I was with the Writing Center from the beginning. When I started in 2008 as the director of the Inquiry and Expression program, Brian Matkey pulled me into his office and offered me a welcome gift, which was a very, very small closet in the basement of the academic building, and he said we could hire whoever I could find to work in that space as a writing center.
But I was here when we first called it the Aquinas College Writing Center. The Aquinas College Writing Center, we've always prided ourselves on being an organic writing center. Like we continually develop based on what the consultants and the writers offer and the ways they contribute to our building.
I believe people should come to the Writing Center even aside from assignments. Like just coming here and connecting with the consultants themselves. We're great people, we're students on campus, so don't be afraid of us, we're just like you.
As we're celebrating 10 years, we've seen students that have started here years ago and see the wonderful writing that they're doing down the road and in their professional careers. I'd say the Aquinas experience is not complete without having experienced the Writing Center.
Well, everyone goes to the Writing Center. The Writing Center has just enhanced every bit of writing on campus. And as a side note, has helped faculty members develop their writing identities also.
It gives the students who are helping an opportunity that they might not have otherwise gotten, and a purpose that they might not have otherwise gotten. And isn't that what a community is all about? It's being part of something bigger than yourself.
I think the Writing Center is a place where we can talk about the power of writing, and where we can also model and live the professionalization of writing. And the reality of the professionalization of writing is that no great work of writing was ever just produced by a single person. It's always a community of writers.
Writing is written dance, and how we use writing to understand ourselves, similar to how dancers use movement to understand themselves. And I find that this connection between two different arts is really important.
We have consultants now who are on Navy ships, who are in medical residencies, who have used their work as consultants and writers at the Writing Center. They're everywhere now, and they're working as dentists and they're working as educators. They carry what they have from the Writing Center into all places.
I'm Xander Atwood. I'm an Aquinas College and Insignis Honor Society alumnus of 2014.
My name is Svetlana Jericho. Graduated in 2020, and I'm currently a lab intern in this lab in Kenya that's about 2 hours away from where I live.
As part of the Insignis Honor Society, I was required to have certain electives to graduate with honors, and the Writing Center class was one of the elective classes that I chose to do. It was definitely probably one of the best times of my entire academic experience at Aquinas.
I just found it was such a place of liberation where I could be myself, and people were intrigued to hear my story.
On Mars.
In 10 years, I envision just a really beautiful space.
Only getting bigger, only becoming more of a help to students as they go through their projects and research and writing.
I love that we now offer services to English language learners, global students, and I think that that's something that's just going to grow.
I would also love to see the Writing Center maybe working out to work with literacy programs in Greater Grand Rapids. You know, we have tremendous talent here, and literacy in writing is something that I think we could spread beyond campus.
I am unbelievably grateful for the number of writers who have entrusted us with their words.
The students that work in our Writing Center just continue to shine. And I've said this before, but I just don't know how they can get any better. And they just continue to astound me every semester.